From the kitchen of the cabin, it's the 5 Games for Doomsday review. Satanimals. Charm can go a hell of a long way, or so I'm told. It can draw people in and it can keep people there. In an age of craven dishonesty and all too prosaic literalism, we're sorely in need of some charm and some mischief. With social media reducing 3-dimensional people into barking facsimiles of their own opinion, sometimes we need a bit of charm and a cheeky grin to take us away from all the insincere wailing. In games, there's a lot of rigour. There's some humour, but often not a lot of charm. This is the main reason for Wingspan's success. It's not the scientific rigour, even though people desperate to seem serious would claim so. Wingspan is a game of gentle charm, from the artwork to the factlets to the mini-eggs. It's the bucolic charm that brings people to Wingspan, not the scientific verisimilitude. Charm comes in many forms, and I love the kind of charm that comes with a hint of devilry. I love the cheekily transgressive, a wink to the camera rather than a punch on the nose. It's like the beggars in Berlin that have one bowl for booze, one for weed and one for the hard stuff. It's a subtle prick at the buttoned up preconceptions that people carry around with them. It's these well-meaning little gags that will annoy the kind of people who get annoyed at such things. And that's an attitude I can wholeheartedly get behind. Satanimals from Marlon Fussell and Megamint Games is a simple game that crackles with the kind of mischief that pulls up the corners of my mouth. Like a scally kid stealing an apple and running off with their 2 fingers raised in the air. In Satanimals, players take on the roles of demonic zookeepers, attracting visitors to their establishment by filling it with creatures brimming with satanic vigour. Equal piles of cards are laid out in a 3x3 grid, and on your turn you must take the top card on a row or column. With these cards you can lay down sets of animals, employ divinely ordained zookeepers to protect your animals from the machinations of your fellow zoo owners, or sacrifice visitors to summon diabolical forces to rain chaos on the other people around the table. When a player has played a group of all 5 Satanimals, or cards can't be drawn anymore, the game ends. Satanimals is a simple card game in the vein of Exploding Kittens, and I've always felt that these games come under undue derision by the community. They do what they're supposed to do admirably. Satanimals is a game that exhibits the kind of charming mischief that makes South Park fun, except it has another satire. The goal of the game is to delight, and in this it succeeds. I love that there is none of the goading and trolling that can come with a game trammeling this kind of ground. If hackles are raised, it's not the game, but the preconceptions of those kinds of people that pretend to be outraged by this kind of poking. It is, in essence, a simple set collection game that is elevated by absolutely wonderful art that, in its crudeness, fits the tone of the game perfectly. The simple actions are thematically consistent, and there is just enough take that to keep the set collection challenging. There is no doubt that I wouldn't have been attracted to this game without the theme, and whilst there are better fillers out there, Satanimals knows that brevity is the soul of wit and doesn't outstay its welcome. The absurdity of the Christian conception of hell and demons is played for laughs here, as something so brazenly medieval should be. This is the high camp of Gwar. There is no earnest-faced iconoclasm here, merely a silly response to an infinitely silly concept. The fact that there are organisations that still warn against monsters, probably created by desert-crusted anchorites hopped up on ayahuasca and solitude, when true monsters like Trump and Johnson and Katie Hopkins and Tommy Robertson stalk the planet, is the kind of muddle-headed idiocy that Satanimals makes fun of. It is never angry though, unlike me. Just cheeky, mischievous, and very, very charming. People admire traits in others they don't possess themselves, and it is the charm I admire in Satanimals. I just need to get some myself. Thank you for listening, and you can support the show at patreon.com/5G4D.